We're going live.
Do it live.
Does that mean that I get to fill in?
Do it live.
I'm like a substitute?
What kind of red do you guys wear? What do you got?
It's not that. I'm saying stop while it's starting. Why is it so hard for people to
Everybody wants the juice, bro.
Oh no, they're all gonna want the juice. I'm just saying stop talking while we're trying to start with some music in the background. It's all right. You're here just in time. We just started. I just don't have the mic muted, so feel free to talk away. There's some music playing in the background. Waiting for some people to join in.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Oh boy, I just got the notification. I gotta
You
share.
just send that out.
I gotta share. I'm gonna go refill real quick and come back and join.
Yeah, we got some things that I'm hiding our screen with.
Beautiful. Welcome, folks.
Hello. File in. Come here, sit down. Everybody hang out. We're getting prepared in the background here.
Nice to have you. Good to see you.
Did a power shower.
Fourth bath?
Yeah. That name works.
What's up?
That name works.
We'll switch back and forth a few times. We're getting ready. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. Scott, how are you doing? Oh, I gotta get the chat popped out so that we can all see it. Can't forget that. Okay, sounds good in the background.
Good to see you, Dan.
Chat.
What you got there? Huh? What's it? Sure.
Oh. Rough fine. Hello.
I can see it better there.
Sure.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? What's up? We got 7 in there. Hey, everybody. Welcome. File in.
All right, let's go. Cameras live and action. Hello. Good evening, Facebook.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
I'm James.
Week 2, Jay.
Chris.
And we're still working on the name. But apparently, what was it? Missing context?
Yeah.
Got us on a little bit of hot water. So we're going to keep working on it. As of right now, what was the front runner you had typed up? I loved it on the intro. That was fun.
Contextually challenged.
Contextually challenged. Check the hashtag. I like that one. It was actually an existing hashtag, but maybe we take that one over. Let me see what you guys think in the chat. But thanks for everybody joining us. Lovely to be back here. Sorry we're a little bit late, but we're working on some improvements, getting everybody together. We're here ready to rock and roll. Good to see some familiar faces in the chat. Justin, Scott,
Zach, hello.
Hey.
Everybody stopping in. Make sure get these things shared out. That's how we're gonna make this grow on your personal pages. Remember, we want your opinions as well through all of this while we're talking. Feel free to put something in the comments. I'll make sure to find it, highlight it, and if we need to, we'll go back and touch on it. Talk between yourselves if you want to while we're going over things, but make sure, number one, be interactive and enjoy yourselves and get something off your chest if you need to.
Absolutely. This is your opportunity just as much as we are 3 knuckleheads kind of spewing into a microphone. Hopefully you guys can get some stuff off your chest too and be a part of the show.
Wait, who's the half man?
Oh! Yeah, Justin. Who, please, you're going to have to address that ASAP. Who is the half man? Please, let's hear it. What do we got, Justin? I want to know.
We also have 2 cameras today, boys. I know you just showed up, so we have a second
the
camera
view,
up
baby.
there in the back.
We're
Nice,
doing it.
a close-up.
We're doing it.
Make sure to say hi, Facebook. So we'll try and keep it interactive and moving around, so that you guys have more to see than just one angle. And we got some cool stuff to show you today. I think that we should get started off with Jay and let him talk about his mind, body, spirit, and competition.
Well, Justin, you don't know. All right. Well, hey, that was a fantastic entry to a joke. I was waiting for the punchline, brother. But let me know when you come up with it. Go ahead and feel free to consult Google on that one. But great weekend. First of all, I wanted to check in with you guys. How was your weekend?
Good. Nothing special. Just hanging out.
Went swimming and fishing. Caught a really big fish on a
If
boat.
you guys didn't catch the live, Girl Dad was
Really
out there
big fish.
yoking them out of the ocean.
Do you do that a lot?
No. No.
I did it once and got so sick that I wish I could have called the Coast Guard in to get me. It
Was it deep sea?
Yeah.
How far out you go?
I don't know. Far enough, man.
Yeah,
It just-
you don't have to
too
go very far.
far.
You don't have to go very far to
Yeah.
get seasick.
Is that something you have a history of, the seasickness?
Well, I'd only been on a boat once, and it was just that one time,
Oh,
and
really?
that was enough. I'll never go back out.
The trick is looking at the horizon.
Yeah. Or Dramamine helps.
Dramamine helps a lot too.
Some
but,
people,
but
not everybody.
keeping your eyes up, it's real easy to get pigeonholed, I would say, into looking down at something or down at the water or anything other than the horizon, and that causes you to have 2 different speeds in your eyes.
Yeah.
and that's what a lot of the movement with motion sickness, I think, that people get, is where, like, if you're in a car or whatever, you're sitting in the car, so part of your eye sees that everything's sitting still, and then everything else is moving by really fast in the other part of your eye, and your brain can't process
Sure.
that. And
You'll
so-
notice a lot of times people that will stare at their phone,
Yeah.
try to play a game with
Yeah.
movement while they're in a moving vehicle, get it really bad
terrible.
because that multiple, I think, dimensional processing things happening all over the place. But
Yeah. By the time people started giving me tips,
Thank you, Zach. We love the shirts too.
by the time people started giving me tips on how to mitigate the problem, I think that one of the deckhands came up to me and she's like, "Hey, do you want to chug a beer? I think that'll help." And that was it. I was overboard.
that's the worst possible advice.
Yeah.
If anybody ever tells, let me guess, she probably handed you an IPA, right? Chug this, it'll be great. No, that's probably the worst thing you could have done. It's a rough thing, dude, especially when you start rocking side to side, and like you said, that horizon starts
Yeah.
changing off
Yeah.
in the distance,
You gotta-
and your point of
eyes up.
reference just goes, and then
Eyes up,
over
eyes
after
up.
that. Yeah, once you lose your stomach, it's over.
Yeah.
You had a decent weekend though? Uneventful?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really do anything.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb, even though you sound like you had a really cool fishing adventure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say mine was probably a little bit better.
Okay.
Just a little bit. In that I got to share in the first grappling tournament experience of one of my athletes / coaches with our company Aetherial. Michaela, she's going to be our yoga instructor and our aerial silks instructor. She just competed in her first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. Super proud of her. She took second in the under 135 beginners division for the gi and the no gi. So she did a total of, I want to say, 9 matches. Competed 9 times on Saturday. Yeah, it's insane. Some of them, the ones that she didn't submit her opponent, she actually had to go the full time, and each of those rounds are a full 5-minute match. So the first 4 fights she did were in the gi, the big heavy pajama suit. If you guys aren't familiar with it in the chat,
Yeah.
first 4 fights she had to do back to back to back to back in the gi. I hope she doesn't mind me talking about it, but somebody asked earlier in the chat what we're going to talk about today, but I kind of wanted to use my weekend experience to get into the topic of the day, which is mindset. But hopefully she doesn't mind me talking about it, but it's a great segue into what it takes to achieve when we talk about being in the right mindset. I saw this young lady bust her butt in training, shift into a competition mindset, and continue to bust her butt through training. And we can kind of touch on that and where the mindset shifts along that journey. But the most powerful thing that I saw is her nerves took her over briefly. She competed. It kind of went away. She had to go out and compete again, and it didn't go well the second time. She won her first match.
Yeah.
Right? Still very nervous.
Yeah.
First time she's ever competed. Second time she goes out and loses her second match. So now adrenaline spike goes to adrenaline dump. Right?
Yeah.
I can visibly see color wash out of the face. Breathing starts getting shallow.
You start questioning what you did wrong.
I'm looking at her knowing that she's a prepared athlete, and I can see it's a mental thing at this point. But this is the beautiful learning experience of competition. So being a somewhat experienced coach, we're able to talk, get her dialed back in, and she goes out and executes. We're talking 7 more matches, including 2 gold medal matches in which she gave a significantly more experienced grappler a run for her money. So before we get too much into the mental side of things, super proud of you, Michaela. Great job. Way to kill it. I just could not be prouder of you. What I was getting to with that story, after that second fight, walks off the mat to catch her breath, grabs a swig of water, goes white, disappears, comes back. I'm better. I'm like, where'd you go? She's like, I had to puke. I'm like, what? She goes, no problem. When I'm really getting into my powerlifting, it happens. It's a reset, and I'm ready to go. I'm like, bet. So you know yourself as an athlete.
Okay.
Cool. If that's what you need to do, then let's go. If you guys check out the Aetherial Facebook page. The very first picture I posted from the competition on Saturday of Coach Michaela giving you guys the old whatever the hell you call it.
Shaka.
Whatever us BJJ.
Shaka.
Yeah, but jiu-jitsu guys have taken it over. And
Yeah,
we
but
call it
that's
the cool guy thing.
I don't know, whatever you guys
the
call
hell.
it. It's the shaka from.
If you guys go back and look at that picture, okay, I'm sorry I'm saying it, but I want you guys to appreciate it. I purposely snapped that photo just after she finished the sentence. I just got done puking. I'm like, awesome. Boom. Put the camera in your face. Let's game face it. And that's where we start talking about mentality. Game face. She knew even in that instant, game face time, right? This is going on social. This whole experience is very overwhelming at this exact moment. I'm recollecting myself. I just blew chunks. I got to compete again. My coach is in my face with a camera. Boom. Game face, posing, ready to rock.
Time to go.
Time to go, ready to perform. All the BS goes into check, right?
Yeah.
We're aware. We're in the moment. We're present enough in the moment to take immediate action and make the best outcome.
Well, and the biggest thing is we forgot everything that happened before.
Doesn't matter. Irrelevant.
You have put everything that happened prior to that moment away, and it doesn't come back up. That's a sign of a real champion athlete.
And even extending beyond athletics, the thing I love most about martial arts is the direct correlation to life itself. There is so much that we can gain from being able to take that presence of mind in those hyper intense moments, right? Those moments where things feel like, oh crap, and that tunnel vision feeling starts coming in. I know you guys have all been there. Daniel, Justin, Zach, whoever's in the chat, let me know if you guys have been there too. When something happens and it's like, oh crap, and that heartbeat starts speeding up and you can feel it beating more and more intense, right? And everything starts closing in and we get that little bit of sense of tunnel vision. And suddenly maybe we're not thinking or planning out or feeling our actions as well as we thought we did. We're kind of just slave to our own reaction.
Yeah.
That fear sets in maybe, or that panic or that slight hesitation sets in.
Shit.
And we lose complete control over what's going on. And we become a slave to that reactionary mentality. We kind of touched on it last week, right? When we talked about the people that react in different situations.
Yep.
The person that's going to jump in and help and intervene versus the person that's going to pull out their phone and record versus the person that's just going to walk away and keep their own
Last week.
their own paper.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah. You have two types of people: the person that runs to the problem or the situation, and you have the person that runs from it. There are no others. And even if you're picking up your phone, you're running from the situation. You're not interjecting yourself into it. You're recording it, so therefore you're running from it in one sense or another. But yes, I mean, yes, even media needs to be, you need to have media of wartime situations, but that's a whole different.
Well, absolutely.
I think that's a whole different.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole different level of recording what's happening than the everyday day-to-day person with a cell phone in everyday situations that they could actually help out in.
Sure.
Instead of a situation where they're there to capture the moment of that situation.
I'm sure you could find several examples of wartime journalists that display that same presence of mind or calmness in the storm to be able to get those iconic shots that we see of like
Thank you, Justin, by the way.
And World War I and not World War I specifically, but more so World War II, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There had to be people that had that same presence of mind
Oh, yeah.
in a firefight to be there, lining up, focusing, taking pictures while all this world-changing, life-altering stuff's going on.
Journalists, right?
The journalists.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, so I just think that's a different kind of. It's different to be that kind of a journalist, than it is to just be someone that's picking up your cell phone and taking a video of a fight between two random chicks on the playground or whatever. So,
Absolutely.
That's just my opinion.
Justin,
so.
real quick, she is a badass young lady. Michaela Ailman, check her out. Throw a like on her social. She's a great person.
Also, Zach, I don't know, but I know you asked. Hopefully, you're still here. Have either of these two played golf? I haven't played golf since I was in, my young days, but
I have hit the greens. I am awful. You will get run off the course, or we will have to let people play through.
Okay.
But I will go.
Okay. And
I've never played, but there's actually a lot to learn from competitive sports, like particularly golf, tennis, and stuff like that. There's some lessons that I've taken from athletes that have achieved high levels of success there and implemented that into my shooting career, so to speak. I wanted to touch on what you were talking about with how Michaela was able to execute on that day of competition, even still being relatively, I guess, new wouldn't be the correct statement, but it takes a while to progress through the
We'll say
belts.
fairly fresh in her martial arts journey, for sure. She's been an athlete for a long time, but
Relative
within
to
martial
some.
arts, she's very fresh in her journey. Absolutely.
That's not to say, obviously you wind up competing against people that are of equal or, relatively
Absolutely.
equal skills.
And like I said at the beginning as well, again, she's matched up by weight class in a beginner's division. So it's a pool of her peers, right?
Well, one of the things that I noticed about Michaela, particularly, that I'm sure helped, and I know this sounds obvious when you say it, but she is on the mats constantly.
She's a grinder.
It's
She's a
ridiculous.
grinder.
It's insane.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And God bless her, right? But that's what you have to do in order to have the confidence going into the competition that you've done the work necessary to succeed. An anecdote that I can offer from my own personal experience. In the tactical world, so to speak, there's these traveling roadshow instructors that will put on 2-day weekend classes. And one of them, his name is Gabe White, and he has these performance standards within his class that are based off of a number of different drills that you can hit different pins. They're basically performance rewards. So I took his class 3 times and sequentially got the 3 rewards that he offers: dark, light, and turbo pin. That process took me about 1.5 years.
You've always looked like a turbo pin kind
Yeah,
of
it's
guy. Just throwing that out there. Every time I saw you, the first time I saw you, I went, that's a turbo pin kind of a guy right fucking there.
It's turbo time.
Turbo pin.
So yeah, the word is a little bit of a self-deprecating jest, that he kind of put into the curriculum. But the standards are really spicy, very hard to achieve. At the time that I did it, only 10 people in the world had done it. But one of the things that I took away from that experience and what I learned, the biggest takeaway was do the work, right, so that you can walk into the competition environment knowing and being confident that you've done enough.
I just saw it too.
And
chat, y'all are wild. Don't let him get off his train of thought.
Hey, Brandon, by the way.
Brandon, you got him off his train of thought. Way to go.
he's on roll. So, anyways,
We're proud
do
of
the
you
work.
too, Brandon.
So do the work. That way you can walk into the competition environment knowing you've done everything that you can, and there's nothing more that you can do that day to get any better. You're bringing what you have. And then you can feel confident that what you need to do is focus on the process rather than the outcome. Often when we walk into competitions or situations where we really deeply care about the outcome, we focus on the outcome rather than the process, and that interrupts us. That interrupts that flow state that we've talked about. And that's the key. If you don't do the work, you're going to walk into the competition with a lot of self-doubt, and that is going to interrupt your process.
100%. So kind of touching base really quickly on what you talked about without giving up too much of the secret sauce, because I'd love you guys to all come and train with me on the mats, right? A lot of what we focused on leading up to this point was shifting from a mixed martial arts perspective of just overall general knowledge to specifically concentrating on competition jiu-jitsu. The rules of these specific competition that we're entering, maximizing our efficiency within that rule set.
Yeah.
And maximizing our chances of winning, right? So even the matches, and she got the full gambit. She submitted multiple people. She got submitted. She pointed people, and she got pointed.
Yep.
So she got to see all of it. Literally, the only thing that didn't happen is a draw. Go ahead.
Yeah, she went all the way across the board as far as
She got to taste everything in terms of competition in one day.
Yeah.
And competing 9 effing times. If you've never done a grappling competition, guys, especially for a female of her size, and it's nothing to say anything about her physically, but there's not often a wide competition pool there. And it's great to see that there's more and more getting into it, to where, like, even now my frame of reference for her weight division was drastically off from what I thought it would be, and that's fantastic to see. That means there's a lot of younger, smaller frame ladies getting into the sport. That's all that means, and that's a beautiful thing. So for all of that, I'm like, I'm still amazed at the effort she was able to put in. But 9 matches in one day. There's times where I'm like doing competitive training where I'll do maybe 10 or 12 5-minute rounds in an entire training session. And you're talking about a former professional mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
Like I've fought at a professional level. There's a difference between a white belt grappler and a pro MMA fighter, right? Yeah. So she's fighting 9 matches in one day. There's a certain amount of mental toughness that has to come along with that, right? Along with, great segue, the key, like he just mentioned, presence of mind. You know how easy it would be to get lost in your thoughts, in your mind, thinking about the next match, or how tired you are from the previous match, or the fact that you just threw up, or that you got 4 more matches, or after this division's done, hey, I'm getting ready to fight for gold. I still got to go fight a whole nother division.
I get lost in my thoughts all the damn time.
It's super easy, right? And you don't have people trying to choke you unconscious. Like, it's super easy. Yeah. So, again, props for being able to channel all that in and dial it in and execute. And it goes back to the mindset in the preparation leading up to shifting our mindset to the competition, right? We have a goal. We have a task at hand, and everything that we're doing is to accomplish that task, no matter what. So all of our training gets focused on accomplishing that goal. All of our movements, all of our actions, everything we do in the fight, right? Our thought process, everything that unfolds is hopefully to get us to that goal. And she executed flawlessly. Yeah. Not going to get into our game plan.
No.
Right? That's the secret sauce. No. But the idea of what we were trying to accomplish, win, lose, or draw, she went out there and fucking executed.
And Justin, your game plan obviously needs some work, but that's something you're going to have to take care of on your own time. Is all I'm saying. And
those 5-minute matches, man, that's a long 5 minutes. If you haven't done jiu-jitsu, and it gets easier as you go along because you get conditioned to it. But man, 5 minutes is a long ass 5 minutes, and doing it 9 times in a row, especially in a competition environment, because it's different when you're rolling at the dojo with your friends and then you go to a competition, because those people are going balls deep.
Right.
You know,
the
whole round. The whole damn round. So I'd be interested to ask her what that experience was like after she puked, because what a lot of people describe and what I've had happen for myself in competition environments is what's described in the book Flow, where it's kind of you're almost detached from yourself. So you're almost watching yourself third person, and that's great because I feel like that detachment, that's the ego leaving you. The ego's watching, like the spirit, I guess, executing what it is that you already know what to do. And it's a very crazy experience to have, but it's real. Yeah.
My arm hair just started, like, my spidey senses went off because he just gave me a gateway into the woo. And every time I get an opportunity to take a conversation and hard jerk the wheel left into the woo aspect, I'm going to.
I love talking about the woo.
So, ghost riding the whip. Right
the Tao of Pooh and the Tea of Piglet are great books, is all I'm saying. If you don't know what they are. But
it's a beautiful.
They're two of the best books you could probably read.
So when it comes to the state of flow, there is. I love it. I love it. There's so much to be said about experience, about knowledge, about taking what you can from past experience, but at the same time isolating it to where you're only taking the nutrients from it and not carrying the baggage.
Yeah.
Using past experience only to the point that we can grow from it and leaving it right there, not dragging it along with us.
Yeah.
That is what allows, and I'll give you just another little just a little piece of the training pie. But about 2 weeks prior to competition starting, we shifted from me teaching new skills to us sharpening existing skills and us refining natural movements.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
I
cool.
Literally take my athlete, in this case, our coach, Coach Michaela, and I watch her grapple 2 to 3 times for 2 or 3 minute intervals from start, like from naked bare start to wherever I say stop and reset. And I'll watch that 5-10 times.
Okay.
Then I make a game plan of the natural occurring movements of stuff that she's already comfortable doing, and we refine that.
Yeah.
Rather than me say, hey, I want you to go out and execute this, and this. Half of it might not be stuff she's used to doing, right? Half of it might not be stuff she's comfortable with. Half of it might be stuff she's done in training, but the timing sucks on. There's a lot of layers to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when we take the natural movements and we refine, and we say, hey, if we do this and this instead of this in these positions that we naturally already get to, we're going to score additional points, right? Versus if we just went from A to B to C, well, if we stop at A1 and A2, we're going to stack up an extra 5 points. And those techniques and strategies ended up helping her win a couple matches by points. So leading up to and shifting that mindset into competition helps kind of sharpen the edge of the blade for competition.
Sometimes in a tough competition, you have to fight for the points and not for the knockout. I mean, like everybody always wants to fight for the knockout, right? Yeah. Like you're always fighting for the tap out, the TKO, like. But in the end, what matters is points. That's why Floyd Mayweather is the best, welterweight boxer of all time. Because
best welterweight defensive boxer of all time, and I would.
And that's what, but that's what that's my point is he's boxing for the points. And I'm saying asterisk is fine. I agree.
Sure.
He's not boxing. He doesn't care about knocking you out. He knows the game of boxing, which is points. All he needs to do is score more points.
There was a time where he was taking
round.
heads, but he's smart. He's got fight IQ. That's what we call fight IQ.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to her being a great athlete. There was points in different matches where I'm calling out to her specific move sequences I want her to do.
Yeah.
There's points in different matches where I'm calling out positions that I want her to get to. There's points in the match where I'm telling her, you're down on points. You need to finish or we lose.
Yep.
Period. Go for it, and that's it, right? There was one specific spot where she was up on points, and Kay, if you're watching, I know you remember this. We had 48 seconds left. She was up on points, and she was in full mount on the girl, and the girl started turning over almost to give her back. And I yelled out, Kay, just keep top position. Short time, keep top position. At that point, the strategy becomes advantageous. We know there's 30 seconds left after I get my message communicated. We don't need to go for the sub. We have the points, we're ahead. Conversely, right? If she's down 3 points, I can scream out, listen.
Yeah.
If you don't do something right now, we're going to lose.
Right.
So at that point, we throw caution into the wind. But that's where the mental aspect of being present enough within the fight right? With somebody under you or on top of you grinding into your face or whatever, present of mind enough to still be able to listen to me and tell your body what to do and execute in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something I talk about in my professional life as a leader for a sales organization. I tell my sales guys, you don't have to be the best salesperson in the world. You just have to be better than everybody else. And I know that kind of sounds like a distinction without a difference, but the fact is, there's times where you're down and you can experiment with new shit because it doesn't matter, right? Just go for the gold and see what happens and then take those experiences and learn from them if they didn't turn out the way that you wanted to. Or there's times to switch up your strategy and just play it safe because you're riding the line. Winning is not one-dimensional.
Absolutely.
So
It takes a team to win most of the time,
100%.
and even when you're a solo athlete, it takes a team of trainers and other people behind you to make it to where you can be successful at that practice that you're so focused on that you can't do anything else.
There is not a single situation where a solo athlete can get better on their own.
Yeah.
They have coaches. They have even a
stride.
Even a single athlete, even a solo
Doesn't
athlete,
happen. You
still
need
has a
competition.
team. Still has a team of people, a coach,
100%.
of people around them. They still work in a team environment.
yeah,
Everybody has
Everybody
to. You
does.
have to work in a team
And
environment.
like to your point, not to short sell what we do at Aetherial.
There is no I in team, but there is an ME.
There is a me. What we do at Aetherial, to your point, a lot of her performance for this competition was predetermined before we got there.
Yeah.
The work was already put in.
Yep.
The mentality was already set. She was ready to go in and rip a couple bitches apart, and she did that, and it was awesome.
She did great. It was
it was
really cool.
fantastic.
It was great to see.
So enough gloss on Michaela, because I got to start burying her again next week. I gotta destroy her ego again so I can keep helping her improve.
yeah.
But
Back to the grindstone.
it goes right back to like we were talking about initially, but the whole mentality thing, and the reason why at Aetherial especially we really embrace the overall mindset training aspect, not just jiu-jitsu, not just kickboxing, not just boxing, not just wrestling, not just whatever specific martial art or yoga that you're after, not
Yeah.
just the CPR training,
No.
but the overall leveling up of the individual, helping you guys prepare for life as a whole. There is a lot to be learned for life lessons from being able to take somebody that's 30 pounds heavier than you, grinding on your jaw and suffocating your lung expansion for 5 minutes at a time. It sounds brutal, and it is. But when you realize that you can take that and sometimes even counter it and or even overtake that person and win, it does something to your psyche. Suddenly the lady at the grocery store that cut you off isn't as big of a deal. You know what I mean?
No.
Suddenly the boss that likes to piss and moan but doesn't actually do any work
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily just turn your screws the right way as much anymore. You know what I mean? There's a diminishment to the value that we give these negative influences once we can kind of capture that aspect of our mind.
You learn how to deal with those situations differently and take a step back.
Goes through a different filter.
And I get angry. I can totally admit that I deal with a ton of situations the wrong way. But you can only look at it and learn from it. But we do need to get on to some special stuff that I know that Chris has prepared for us coming up. I want to give everybody a chance to. We're gonna take a pretty big chance here. I know that I know my community and most of our communities are all into firearms and knowing how to use firearms safely. And so we're gonna give
Tracy D in the chat.
Hello,
Beautiful.
Tracy. Hi. How are you doing?
Love you. That's my lady, everybody. She's awesome.
So we're gonna give Chris a chance to show what a training weapon is, and
I'm not
we're
sure
gonna
what he's going into. Let him.
we're gonna let. Yeah, Brandon, you might really enjoy this. So tune in and.
Let me jump in real quick on the intro. So, Coach Chris is our chief firearms instructor at Aetherial. Okay, so with his experience, he is the guy that's issuing our concealed carry permits. Okay, and like we mentioned last week, he's currently being certified for legal use of force in the state of Florida. Okay, so a lot of our programs are based on proper maintenance, timing, safety, all that fun stuff of your firearm. But most importantly, with our concealed programs and our Pistol 1, it's focused more so on safe deployment and retention of your weapon. So a lot of that stuff is where Coach Chris really shines. And if you guys ever get a chance, check out his social media. He's got some really cool videos of him doing some stuff to timers and crap that'll probably blow your mind if you ever want to check it out and see what he's about. But I'll throw it over to him. He's got a training weapon with him, and he wants to go over, I think, a little bit of technique type stuff.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about some equipment. I think anybody that's been into concealed carry for any period of time probably has the proverbial box of bullshit, holsters and various accoutrements that they've bought over the years and discarded because they found out that it was a piece of crap after they bought it. So this is the Filster Enigma, and I will say that this holster system, that's what this is probably the pinnacle of where we're at right now. And I would say that we're in the kind of the golden age of concealment, concealed carry, and that kind of stuff. There's just so much good stuff out there. So first of all, full disclosure, we don't have any affiliation with Filster or anything, but I'm a fan. They make really top tier gear, and this piece of gear is no exception.
Can I interrupt real quick? I love where you're going. Scott has a fantastic question. If you wouldn't mind reading that out loud and addressing it, I think that's a great question.
So,
and I know you know the answer already. The second
if you get a concealed carry in Florida, is it good in other states? Yes, that's called reciprocity. However, the states that it is good in vary. So, and it vary from time to time, right? The best way to check is if you're a Florida resident, you can go on to the Department of Agriculture, which oddly enough in the state of Florida is the department that handles concealed weapons issuance.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why.
Corn and guns.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucking Florida, man. What do you like?
Yes. Gators, corn, and guns.
Yes.
So the Department of Agriculture, that website has a continuously updated list that is all of the states that share reciprocity. One of the things you want to keep in mind, however, that just because there is a state that shares reciprocity with us, meaning that you can take or conceal your gun in that state, you have to abide by that state's laws, which may, in most cases, differ from ours. So things that would be legal here are not legal there.
So just having it doesn't mean your actions and your day-to-day with your firearm can be the same as it would be as if you were here.
Yeah. And vice versa.
For instance, perfect example. This is the knife that I carry daily. It's a Microtech Scarab. What makes it unique is that it's an automatic knife, meaning it has a button on here, and when I push it, the blade deploys. Now, this knife is legal in Florida, and I can carry it with my concealed weapons permit in Florida. However, in other states, it is not. So something just that might seem minor, that you get pulled over. Oh, wow, okay, so now you're a
No, that's major if you get pulled over. Brandon, if you pulled over somebody with that knife in their car, would you not arrest them? I'm just saying.
See, what had happened was, you guys are wild. I didn't want to derail.
You're fine.
I thought that was a fantastic question. Yeah. Thank you, Scott. But go back on the Filster, brother.
So Filster, again, great company. They're on the cutting edge of creating unique and valuable concealment tools for the everyday citizen. So again, this is one of those items. This is the Filster Enigma. And what it is basically a chassis system for a holster. I won't take it apart on camera here, but I'll kind of describe it as best as I can. So this chassis is comprised of a faceplate and a belt, to which you screw the holster that you already have into it. Now, there's a limited a limited type of holster that is compatible with this, so it's kind of specific. But what makes this unique is that it detaches or divorces the gun from the belt. So typically, the conventional way of carrying a handgun concealed is getting a gun belt, attaching that belt to your pants, of course, and then attaching the holster to the belt.
Yep.
That has some challenges with it. Namely, if you're trying to conceal in an environment where you need to tuck in your shirt, what ends up being exposed at that point is whatever you've attached the holster with to the belt. So clips, belt loops, stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, what is that thing on your belt? So,
in my situation, to the same
Yep.
point, but on the other side of things, I wear grappling shorts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
You don't have a belt.
spandex.
You don't have a belt.
I don't have a belt line. So
Right.
for me to carry comfortably is a whole different situation.
Yep.
Something like this.
It really frees you up. And then since it's an all-in-one system, the customization options are endless. So in this case, I've got this gray cover on here. Now, this isn't something that comes with its standard, but the reason I put this on there is just for comfort. So there's some webbing material that comes with it regularly that some may find when it comes in contact with their skin, it's a little bit uncomfortable. It also has this buckle system, which is put on by a magnet. So it's really cool. You just pull it off, and then
I just want a belt. I just want a belt like that.
Yeah.
Without the holster, just the belt.
Just give me a belt like that.
and then when it comes time to put it back on, it literally does it itself,
No,
basically.
Is that magnetic?
pretty-
Yeah. So it's
yeah,
magnetic.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I want one now.
Yeah,
I just want a
they're
belt.
awesome.
I want a magnetic belt.
The other thing that you can do, which I do on the setup that I currently have, I won't expose that at this time, but you can put on different accessories. For instance, a magazine carrier for an additional magazine, a fixed blade knife, which is something nice to have potentially when you're carrying a firearm. If, God forbid, there were ever a situation where you have to fight over control of that gun. Having a secondary weapon, particularly midline, is very useful, as we've seen.
Yes,
We have seen.
we have seen multiple times.
So it's
Check our YouTube if you want to see.
it's the only thing that's missing is just some space for like a grappling hook or something. In fact, it basically.
What about
makes-
smoke capsules?
Yeah. It basically.
Can I get a grenade holder?
Right?
It basically turns you into Batman. I am Batman. I am Batman.
No, Brandon is Batman. He has a Batman.
Yeah, that's
belt.
right.
He's
Law enforcement,
Brandon.
they really do.
Brandon's got
Yeah.
the Batman belt.
So this is about as close as you can get as a private citizen, and it has a lot of options. It's pretty much infinite, and you can have a lot of stuff on you, and it not be too burdensome to carry. And again, it's since you're divorcing it from the pants, you can wear the board shorts, you can wear the khakis, and do business casual while carrying a full duty-sized weapon with a light on it. Something similar to what Brandon probably carries on duty. Literally a Glock 17 or larger with a full-size Surefire weapon light, all concealed under a T-shirt.
It's awesome.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend you to check it out. It's pretty pricey, and it's kind of unobtainium right now. Frankly, you can't even buy it. It's been sold out since like last year.
I personally was on the back order list 2 different times. It did come back in stock, and I chose to let it bypass again. But be prepared to wait at least a month or so. But they are, I can say, decent about sending the emails out.
Yeah.
If you guys do put yourself on the waiting list, I do get emails when they are back in stock. But like you said, unobtainium.
Yeah, there is a Facebook group as well, really awesome group called Filster Concealment Workshop. I hesitate to even say it on the internet to have a bunch of people come into it because it's a really clean group. There's no trolls and no dickheads. So please don't be one of those.
For now. That's just ended.
You'll be dealt with swiftly. But
They'll be dealt with
yeah.
on this channel the same way.
right.
There we go.
So, but that's an awesome
I have
group.
lots of very good mods.
Scott,
women.
Florida does not have open carry, Scott.
Not open carry in the strictest sense of the term, but there are exceptions where you can open carry when you're engaged in particular activities such as
Scott,
Fishing.
Scott, don't
Fishing.
wave your gun around in Publix. The answer is no.
I mean, no, you can't. But you can go to like the side of the road where there's some water, right? And pretend like you're fishing with a fishing pole with an AR on yourself, and technically legally speaking, whether or not you're catching a fish or there's any fish there to be caught, you're legally allowed to open carry. But
and people do.
You will be harassed and it will be
interviewed.
worthless as far as the experience of just caring to protect yourself or whatever, if you were hiking or whatever in the mountains where you
Scott,
actually
it's the stinkiest apple juice I've ever smelled.
Man, what are you talking about?
It's rotten, Scott. It's the
Listen.
It's the rottenest apple juice ever, Scott. No, that's fantastic. I like it. Like
we
I
have
said
training.
before.
We have training firearms on the table, so
Oh, boy.
there is only apple
Oh, boy.
juice. There's only apple juice.
Blue gun.
Blue.
It is totally fake. 100%. Hold on. Wait. Keep it up for a second. Let me go to this view real quick. So it is blue, totally fake training
Rubber.
weapon.
Rubber.
Not real at all.
Rubber.
This is how you train, just so you guys know that are out there. He's showing off the holster, but at the same time...
Oh, Justin, don't spread that kind of stuff, man. We're about safety, brother. I respect you, but come on, baby. It's funny, though.
Interestingly, you can consume alcohol
Yes.
while having a firearm in your possession.
Yes.
You just can't discharge it.
No, you can't. You can't discharge it.
Because that's when it becomes
But
illegal.
the thing is, most likely, if you've consumed
Florida.
alcohol and you have a firearm on you, you're probably going to discharge it at some point.
If something comes out of your mouth that starts with, hey, watch this, or check this shit
Hold
out,
my beer.
or
Hold my beer.
my beer, shut it down. Party's over.
Yeah.
No, we got to spend a little bit of range time today at Reload in Tarpon.
You were telling me that.
Yeah, it was a really great time. So my younger sister is 26, never held or fired a firearm before. So taking some of the tutelage that our awesome firearm instructor Chris gave me, and helping me tighten up some of my bad habits that I had learned, never taking a formal pistol shooting class. Never a 45 degree.
Like the proper grip.
Proper grip, all of that stuff. The proper wrist cant, everything.
Yeah.
Helping me tune up my range etiquette, all the different stuff that this wonderful gentleman offers. I was able to go over all that stuff with her and get her to be able to put a couple rounds down range and get on the paper.
Yeah.
She felt so fantastically empowered after the fact that I felt really good for her. So I highly encourage you guys, if you know how to safely handle and discharge your firearms, to encourage people in your life to hopefully learn more about them. Not necessarily go out and buy one,
No.
but learn more, get more comfortable with them. That way, and this is something I presented to her when I was asking if she'd be interested to train with us, just the bad guys aren't the only ones with guns. Because guess what? Controversial opinion, criminals don't like to follow laws. So gun laws, guess who they affect?
Only the people that follow.
the
Only the
non-criminals.
people that respect them. So
But
it's
that's
in
all
our
laws.
best interest.
But that's all laws.
Sure, but it's in our best interest
Yeah.
to be well trained and well versed in these same tools, right?
Absolutely.
So and that's how I kind of presented it to her, and she's not typically like a hey, let's go out and shoot kind of person, but she respected the perspective, at least to be able to familiarize herself with a tool that I have in the house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we're all safe, we're all comfortable knowing how it operates,
Well, and you know how to use it.
what's safe, what's not safe, all the proper etiquette and fun rules and all that fun stuff.
I actually can't wait to take Sierra shooting someday.
The best part is she had a ball, man.
Yeah.
She had a great time afterwards. She was like, that was awesome. When can we go again?
It's really not
Guns
that
are
bad.
fun.
Guns are
Yeah.
fun, too. When we're safe. The thing that scared me, and the main reason I brought that up, and I know we want to get to interacting with you guys, the main reason I brought that up is she told me, and again, I'm 36, if you guys don't know out there. My sister is 10 years younger than me. All the previous times in her life, and this was kind of shocking to hear, seeing that I'm in a business where we talk about safety.
Yeah.
The first 3 times she was introduced to firearms, not by me, her brother that owns a company that does this stuff, but by people in their homes. And just in going over the 4 fundamental rules of firearm safety, the little switch went off in her head. This person, and this person put me in an extreme amount of danger by showing me their guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns into, hey, look at this.
It's hey, look at this.
Yeah. Well, right with it, yeah. I can't even make my finger do it.
Let me scratch my head.
Such a tiny little.
And it was scary to have her relay that to me and say, hey, just watching that 10-minute video, which shout out to War Poet Society. I had her watch John Lovell's four rules video.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic video. And why do I need to make one if the guy does it, right? He's fantastic. Check it out if you haven't seen it. She watched it. She absorbed it. She immediately walked up to me and said, hey, dude, with the look on her face like I'm looking at you right now, like, dude, I didn't realize the danger my air quotes friends put me in showing me their guns. I'm like, it's not a effing joke. Like, there's no room for farting around when it comes to firearms.
It's funny. Every gun that's ever gone off when somebody didn't intend it to was unloaded. Like, oh God, I thought it was Nope.
And but that's the whole point of having
4 rules.
not just
redundant,
but also training weapons like you have with your blue. It's not a firing weapon. It feels the same. It weighs the same. It allows you to practice your movements, but it has no firing mechanism whatsoever at all in it.
Yeah.
0.
It's just weighted. It's just a weighted.
Even the weight's fairly accurate. Yeah.
It's a weighted training device, and so that's what that Yes, we're taking a chance here in bringing things like that to show you guys how much we care about people learning about how to do things properly and how to have a conversation openly about it.
Do you want to? Let's get to some of these comments. You guys are tearing it up in the chat.
But we have some stuff to talk about
Brandon,
here.
About the hand grip. Do you want to start up there?
Yeah. So Brandon, the non-dominant hand grip. The reason why.
And don't point that at the camera, boy. Down. That's all I have to say.
Right, get it right in the lens. Speaking of safety.
So the non-dominant hand. The reason why you want to put most of your grip pressure with your non-dominant hand is simple. Your fingers tend to want to do what the other fingers are doing, right? So if you want to move just one finger, and I'm pretty good at it now, but you can try this at home. Try to move just one of your fingers. The others want to move along with it. And that's a problem when what you're trying to do is actuate the trigger, but not move the gun. People tend to do what's called milking the gun, meaning when they press the trigger with their index finger, the rest of the other fingers move too, and see what happens to the gun. Just imagine what happens to the target, when you do that. So when you apply most of your grip pressure with your non-dominant hand, that frees up your strong hand to not grip it so hard, which makes pressing the trigger in isolation without moving those other fingers easier, and it controls the recoil better. So that's the reason why they probably trained you to do that, and it's something that you could probably put in the chat that helped you a lot, I would imagine.
Fantastic.
Scott Sake is his gaming name. Scott Keenan wants to know, what is your favorite concealed carry weapon?
So
Gen 3 Glock 19, got it from a friend.
Yeah, Glock generally speaking, but more particularly a Glock 19X or 45, because it is a full-size grip on the pistol grip, but it is a shorter barrel. But what that allows you to do is put a compensator on it. I'm a big fan of shooting with a compensator. And if you take something like a Glock 17, which has a full-size slide on it, putting a compensator above and beyond that makes it pretty ridiculous. So
Dirty Harry. That's like Dirty Harry level.
So the 19X or the 45 allows you to have the longer grip, shorter barrel so that you can put a compensator on it. But Glock's generally pretty much what I carry, and SIGs sometimes. So.
Sure. So, Brandon, we have more people shooting themselves while cleaning their guns because they left them loaded. It's absolutely ridiculous how many calls I've been to for that. Yeah. Brandon, that's absolutely absurd. It breaks my heart to hear it. And again, we go back to our 4 tenets, right? We treat every firearm like it's loaded. And when we go back to the story that I told briefly about my sister telling me about her first introduction to firearms, it's very scary, you know? Yep. The same people that are making the calls that you're going out on, Brandon, are probably the same ones that are never learned how to handle their firearms properly, never taken any type of safety course, maybe even went out and got a concealed carry permit. Maybe went and got them. I've seen some classes, they're offering $39.99.
$39.99. Get your concealed permit.
It's 2 hours. You pop 1 round, not in the weapon that you're walking around carrying, in the instructor's weapon, and guess what? That's it. Now you're authorized in the state to be able to carry. And most people think that absolves them from danger somehow. And they're willing to just wave that sucker around. So you're not wrong there, man. The inherent danger is with the people that have that false sense of security and just, I have it, I know what I'm doing, versus training.
Yeah, or their uncle's brother was in the Marine Corps, and so somehow by osmosis that transfers the skills that person developed into the person who just bought the gun, so they know how to use it. But the reason why we see people get harmed or shot when they're cleaning the gun is a lot of these guns, particularly the Glock, requires you to pull the trigger in order to disassemble it. So one of 2 things is happening. They're either dropping the magazine out of it and not clearing the chamber. So when they go to pull the trigger, of course it goes off because they're still around in the chamber.
Yeah.
Or
and looking at it.
Yeah.
Is there one in there?
Or even worse, they attempt to clear the gun by racking the slide before taking the magazine out, which simply puts another round in, taking the magazine out, and you still have the same problem. So there's a process that you need to really be aware of in the moment, like we were talking about when you're handling the guns, because anytime you handle one, it's a life and death decision, period.
Every time. If you're going to pull your gun, you better be ready to use it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Like if you pull a gun because you want to scare somebody, you have just improperly used a firearm, and you deserve to go to jail.
And probably committed a felony.
For anything that happens therefore after that. Yeah. You pull a gun and you dump an entire clip into somebody that was coming at you, you probably have some plausible deniability in the form of I was standing my ground.
There's a lot of extenuating circumstances there that makes that dance very wiggly.
But you gotta be ready to use it because the other person that's coming at you.
Clothes on?
She had clothes on.
Well, and kind of to your point, that's part of why we don't teach and train disarms at Aetherial.
Yeah.
If somebody has the intent to put a gun in your face, guess what? They're either going to rob you or they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
If their intent is to do harm to you, when that thing's in your face, no amount of high karate bullshit that you think you know
probably not
is probably going to beat that trigger pull, if we're being realistic. I'm not telling you not to fight for your life. Swing for the fences, because you're probably gonna take that L. But at the same time, we can acknowledge that if their goal is to rob you, your best defense is not to get in the confrontation, right?
Yep. No, not at all.
Have a good time, buddy. Take the $10.
See you later. Enjoy yourself.
I'll cancel my debit card.
Bye.
Have a good night. Broader context, though. That habitual line stepping, that checking that sometimes people feel, it's nice to be able to feel like you can defend yourself, right?
I wanted to touch on what Brandon said there. Overgripping or anything like that will make you pull your shots left. Not true. Left is a byproduct of the anticipation that you were talking about. So in fact, what you want to do is grip the hell out of the gun, because the harder you grip it with your dominant hand, the less likely that a trigger pull or trigger jerk, if you will, where you slam down on the trigger, instead of putting 5 pounds of pressure into it, you put 25 pounds into it. The harder you're gripping it with your non-dominant hand, the less likely that that motion or that trigger jerk is going to overpower your non-dominant hand such that it goes low and left like what you're describing. So overgripping can be a good thing, but the anticipation that you're talking about, which is fighting recoil before the gun discharges, is what causes those shots to go low and left. So basically your the gun's going off, but before it goes off, you're like, ha! And then there you go. You're fighting the recoil with your entire body, and that's why with right-handed shooters, it tends to go low and left.
Hey, Michaela, if you're watching this after the fact, there you go. There's your correction.
Yeah. Hey,
if anybody saw that target, everything was dropping just a little bit. I love you, kid. I spent 30 minutes praising you. I gotta get one in there. There's your correction right there. Coach Koss got you.
I posted like a 35-minute video. Nobody watched it.
See, but now we're gonna get more of those little hints and tips and tricks. The more that you're here, and we're all hanging out, everybody that's interested in finding out, a lot about this kind of stuff, and we're gonna do it safely, and we're gonna push the limits of what live, TV, what live content is, and we're gonna be here to hopefully hang out with you guys and enjoy some quality time every week. Hopefully it's 7 o'clock.
We'll see what happens next time. We would love to get some live training content out for you guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that we're talking about. Obviously, as this thing keeps going, we'll be able to do more and more with it. It's so much fun to be able to get the opportunity to hang out with two of my buddies and talk and interact and connect with you guys. We're super, 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 super fortunate and excited to be able to present this to you in a fun way. And really kind of hit home on the fact that we're really, 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 especially with Aetherial and our partner in James with Girl Dad, the safety is the most important thing. I don't need to go crazy on the numbers. I might have even touched on it last week, but over 3,000 concealed carry permits issued over the last 18 months in the state of Florida. Hand to hand. Girl Dad's got a tough road to hoe there. No, I don't know if he wants that smoke, bro.
No way in no way
He's right up on
in
the
hell.
Royal Rumble. I'm calling metal chair. Maybe a steel cage match, Brandon. No, but at Aetherial, our primary focus with those over 3,000 people that have recently gotten concealed carry permits in the state of Florida over the last 18 months, our primary focus is to make sure that those people that took the $39.99 get your permit and walk away class that fired one round downrange, or maybe even didn't fire, air quotes, fire one from
puppy mill
from their instructor's guns or firearms, the puppy mill concealed carry classes. Our goal is to make sure that those people that are walking around with firearms can get some training, because unfortunately, we won't say worse, but at least on par with the bad guy that has firearm is person that thinks they know what they're doing with firearm and wants to wave it around like tough guy.
Yep.
Or tough gal. Okay? So our focus primarily is the safety aspect of it. Anytime you come in and take one of Coach Chris's concealed carry classes or Pistol 1 classes, you're going to get your basic first aid, your BLS and CPR. You're going to get all that stuff included. So you guys are absolutely bananas. I absolutely love it. So first of all, for the Royal Rumble, we're going to need a couple more participants, right?
Definitely.
3 is not enough.
Definitely need like 8. No, we gotta have 8 in a Royal Rumble.
I think so. And if Mrs. Girl Dad comes in here, we're all losing. That's an instant L.
Yes.
So we gotta get a couple heavy hitters in here to at least make it a competition.
And unfortunately, I gotta kick these hooligans out here shortly.
Hooligans. So. They're all hooligans.
So we gotta finish up. But what words of wisdom, boys, can we end on for chat here with our contextually
process, not outcome.
That's the biggest thing. I can expand tremendously on that, but I'll try not to. The journey.
Be a little louder if you're gonna say anything.
The journey
Not the destination.
is the destination.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
The journey is the destination. Thank you all. Justin, Brandon, love you guys. You guys have been super, super, super interactive. Scott, thank you. Appreciate you. Everybody, Tracy, whoever's still on, love you guys. Share, spread it. When it's uploaded, it'll be on our YouTube. Check out our Facebook page, ethereal.llc. Throw us a follow and a like and all that nonsense on Instagram or whatever other socials you're on. I'm not super big on it, but ethereal.llc.
Everybody knows where to find me. Girl
You guys
Dad
are already
Gaming right
fans
here.
of Girl Dad. He's
And
the man.
by the
Some
way,
love. 7 stars.
there may be some music in the first couple of minutes of the
We will get
video
this figured out.
because I may or may not have forgot that the music was still playing while we were talking. But
Scott, he's not wrong. We are hooligans, but I appreciate you.
Oh, don't eat yellow snow. That's good advice as well. Words of wisdom. Here's another ancient Chinese proverb: "Man with itchy ass have stinky finger."
So, chat, I have a question. Should I make these guys play a game of Call of Duty sometime?
I think
Should I make them try?
Overwatch. We'll do Overwatch.
You'll do no. Actually, you know what? If that's the case,
they're all
if that's the
first
case,
persons, I'll just
I'm
play
gonna.
it. I
If
don't
that's the
care.
case, I'm gonna make them play Tarkov. I think I should make them play Tarkov, but we'll do a poll this week. We'll send it out. We'll maybe make them run through a run of Tarkov. Show them what really getting kicked in the nuts is like.
I've watched you play once, and it looked really frustrating. And then after you died, it was like 35 minutes before you got to play again. So I'm going to go ahead and say, boop, boop, out. But I will definitely support you.
Only if you put on some pajamas and a white belt.
Absolutely. But he's got to bring them for me though.
I got fucking geese, bro. I got geese. I got belts.
Geese for
I got
days.
it all.
All right,
Listen,
thank you everybody. We appreciate you guys coming
I
and hanging
got
out.
one more word of wisdom. Are you ready?
What is it?
You need nothing to make you happy. You need something to make you sad. Think about it.
Damn, chat. That's deep.
Boom! We'll catch you next week, hopefully at 7.
Go over to say hi to Absent Search. See you later, baby.
Love you guys.